In the previous lesson, we've built the portfolio index page. It's a page that shows all the portfolio entries as well as some sorting buttons and some navigation buttons. Well, what exactly happens when you click on one of these images? Well, it should take us to a portfolio single page, which shows more information about that specific portfolio entry. So let's go ahead and build that one. We'll duplicate this PSD, call it portfolio single, and we'll start at the very top by removing some of these buttons. We'll only keep this one. It says BTM back, and it should say back to portfolio. Let's also add like a small arrow right here. And resize it. Okay, next up is the actual content. And instead of this portfolio group, we'll call it related entries. These will be portfolio items that are, part of the same category as the item we're currently viewing. So we're only gonna leave like the first three, and we're gonna hide them for now. Okay, the main content will be divided in two sections. First, we're gonna have a left section, which will contain images, and then a right section, which will contain the title of the portfolio item, description, a link, maybe some testimonials, and some navigation. So we'll start with the images part. Let's bring up the grid, and we'll use 8 grid columns for this, so 770 pixels in width. Call it BG, fill it with white, paste the layer style, and now simply align it with the grid. Okay, inside it we're gonna put firstly an image. So I'm gonna grab some images that I made. These are some of my own images from Dribble. Again, 3 pixels from the top, 3 pixels from the left. So we have a nice 3 pixel padding all around. Okay, let's make this image a bit bigger. And move the footer and quote area down. Okay, and also make the main content area here a lot bigger. Okay, we can also remove the navigation. We don't need it right now. And also we're going to increase the size of this box. And now, apart from the image, we're also going to have like a small description text or a caption to that image. So let's call this landing page price box. Font should be Source Sans Pro. Now let's bring up the swatches. It's going to be light text. Regular 14 pixels, crisp. And I think we should use light here, actually. Let's center this text and also center it on the white box. Place it something like that. Notice that I'm not too precise with the measurements right now. We'll do most of this stuff from CSS. So okay. And now let's duplicate this and add another image. Okay, we'll leave 24 pixels of distance between the two images. Okay, this is number 2 for the image. Let's use another one. Okay, and this will say something like landing page buttons. Okay, so I have enough images. Let's see about the right side. So I'll call this sidebar. Again, start with a rectangle tool. Make one that's 370 pixels in width to match 4 grid columns. Fill with white, paste layer style. Okay, call it BG. Okay, now the content inside it, we'll start with the title. Okay, and for the title, we're going to use the heading 4, which is 18 pixels. And of course, the font family is bitter. Okay, let's get rid of that. Okay, align it on the center. Make sure you leave about 2 rows of top padding or top margin. And now we have like a small description. So using the text tool, draw something like this and add, let's just add some lorem ipsum here. Now this will be Source Sans Pro Light 14 pixels. This is actually 16 pixels. This is regular text, yes. Line height should be 24. And also the color should be the text color. Also align this on the center. And let's make it a bit short, something like 3 rows of text. Maybe a bit more, because we also need to add a link. You know, what if you're working on like a website project and it's finished and you want to showcase the live project? Well, you can do so by saying visit site. And let's add an arrow. And since this is a link, we're going to use the primary color. Okay, great. Let's make this a bit bigger, because now we must add like the testimonial. But before that, we must create like a small separator. And this separator is actually composed of 2 lines. Let's make them 120 pixels each. Let's group this into an HR. Color will be border, of course. Align it on the center. Okay. And then just duplicate this and leave about 5 pixels of distance. This is bottom. And maybe 3 pixels. Yeah, that looks much better. Okay, so this is one HR. It's a different type of HR compared to the one we used on the footer, for example. So below that, we're going to do testimonial. And we're going to duplicate this text. Color should be light text. We're going to use light italic. And also add some quotation marks to let the user know that this is in fact a block quote or a testimonial. Instead of this visit site, we're going to do the site, the author. So let's just say John Doe, something like that. This will be much smaller, 14 pixels to be exact, and the font will be text. The font color, sorry, will be the text color. Okay, let's duplicate this separator. Okay, and finally, let's add the navigation. So again, a group called nav, and we're gonna do 2 buttons. Actually, let's go ahead and copy this one. It's gonna be called BTN Prev. And it will say previous project. Okay, and another one that says BTN next. It's going to say next project. Okay, so bring this nav, align it with the BG, and also align it with the grid, something like that. Okay, and finally, I'm gonna bring this up to something like this. So we'll leave roughly 2 rows of padding bottom and 2 rows of padding top. Okay, that is the sidebar. The last thing we need to do on this page is add those related portfolio items that we've built right here. So related entries, we're going to bring these down right here. Let's grab this title. And this one's going to say related portfolio entries. Okay, let's also make this BG the correct size, which means something like this. And also leave the proper spacing. So again, 2 rows on the top. And then 2 rows below the title right here. Okay. Let's bring the footer and quote area further down. Also, let's increase the size of our grid since it fell a little short right now. Okay, maybe make the image just a bit bigger. Okay, and that is the portfolio single page. Okay, that's about it for this lesson. Next time we'll build the about page. So thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.